Welcome to day 5 of the Ragamuffin Photo Challenge, all about angles and pet photography with Get Down Low. Now before we jump into our final lesson of the challenge and get into your final assignment, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for coming along on this little mini journey with me. It has been so much fun teaching you over the last 5 days. I also wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my 6-week online course. If you have enjoyed the past 5 days, getting these little tips and tricks of how to improve your photography, and you enjoy the way I teach, then I would love for you to come and join us. We've got our next course starting soon. Week 1's all about gear and focus. Week 2 is about managing the blur. So we really get into the nitty-gritty of how to nail those action shots. Week 3 is all about creating depth. Week 4 is a really exciting one because you move off your automatic and semi-automatic modes and you start using manual mode. By week 5, you're starting to really wrap your head around all the technical stuff and we can start getting creative. And finally in week 6, we've got intro to editing, which in my opinion is like the icing on the photography cake. So that's the gist of everything you will learn over the 6 weeks. The course is broken up into 6 modules, so it's really easy to navigate your way around, and there are over 20 different video tutorials. We've also got more shooting on location stuff, so I actually take you out on location and show you what I'm doing on the back of the camera. So what are the best bits, in my humble opinion? I think it's really great that you can learn at your own pace. There are the weekly Q&As, and there's emails from me to help keep you motivated along the way. You can get personalized feedback and image critiques in those weekly Q&As. And of course, I love that this is a chance for you to get creative, learn new skills, and above all else, have fun with your pet. If you are ready and excited, enrollment is now open, so I'll have the details of that below. I would absolutely love you and your pet to come and join us for the next 6 weeks. It is going to be so much fun, and I would love to keep teaching you all my favorite bits about photography. Okay, let's jump into our final day of the Ragamuffin Photo Challenge. It's day 5, Get Down Low. Fair warning ahead of the assignment today, guys, you're probably going to get covered in some slobbery doggy kisses. So perspective is a really important part of photography, and it can totally change the way that your photos look. Everything from lens choice to elements of composition to your angles and your point of view can all affect the perspective of an image. And today we're going to chat about that point of view. When we refer to point of view or viewpoint in photography, we're talking about the position of the camera, which naturally also talks about the position of the photographer. So there are 4 main points of view that I like to talk about in relation to pet photography. First of all, we've got the photographer's view. Basically, that's you standing up. Next up is bird's view, which is when you're taking a photo from directly above your subject, like a bird in the sky, and it can give quite a unique perspective because it's not something we always see. The total opposite of that is the worm view, so that's when you're under your subject and you're looking up at them, again, a unique perspective. And then finally, we've got the subject's view. That's what I want to chat to you about today. So subject's view is when you're eye to eye with your subject. If you were photographing another human, then we might be eye to eye like this, but when we're photographing our pets, subject's view often means that you have to get down low on the ground, hence the name of today's lesson. So I highly recommend anyone who wants to create pet photos that have a better sense of connection, get down low and photograph their pets from the subject's view. This can mean totally laying on the ground. You might get muddy, you might get grassy or dusty, but it's so worth it. So let's chat photographer's view versus subject's view. When you're first starting out, it's totally normal to be taking your photographs from the photographer's view. Of course, you just take the photo from wherever you're standing. That makes sense if you're not putting too much thought into your perspective. However, the problem when we're photographing pets from the photographer's view is it has a really flattening perspective because you have to angle your camera down a little and you lose any sense of depth because there really isn't much background. So have a look at these 2 photos, for example. They're taken basically photographer's view, and as you can see, it's sort of just grass that's in the background. There's not a lot of depth and it's hard to really connect with the subject. Just by getting down low, suddenly we have a lot more depth in basically the same image. So we see more in the background and we feel like we can connect with the dog running through the frame. Because we're on their level, we really feel like we can almost empathize with the subject, and it creates a much more dynamic image. So that brings me to assignment 5, Get Down Low. I did warn you at the start, you may get slobbery with this one. Pets tend to get really excited when we suddenly get down at their level. So that's totally normal. Again, you just need a bit of patience, a little bit of time, they'll get used to the fact that you're down on the ground, and then you can start to photograph them. So what I want you to do is get on down to the ground and photograph your pet from the subject's view. Bonus points if you want to start incorporating some of the other lessons that you learned in the 5-day challenge. For example, you can use your single point focus to focus on the eyes and your gizmos to grab their attention, although again, maybe use a less exciting gizmo while you're down on the ground. You can use your shutter speed or aperture priority. So if you're creating a portrait, go for aperture. If you're creating an action shot, go for shutter speed. Don't forget to try and face your pet towards the direction of the light so you have some nice even light over their face. You can go for hard light or soft light. And then finally, you can use the rule of thirds to add some more creativity to your composition. Really looking forward to seeing your final assignments for this Ragamuffin photo challenge. Again, thank you so much for coming on this little journey with me. I have really enjoyed it. I hope you have too. And I'll chat to you soon. Bye.